Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Great, well, I'm recording, so...
Yeah, well, I've been recording, alright?
Listen, I respect the energy that you're bringing into the space, but also, it's Scorpio season, so fuck off.
Listen.
What? No, tell me, coward. I'm too powerful.
Yeah, it's fuck, I can't pick a fight with you, Scorpio season.
Maybe this is the thing. Maybe I come into Scorpio season, like, too prideful for someone that was not born during this time. And so that is Mother Nature just being like, oh, here's that nice piece of ice for you to just absolutely bust ass on.
Right, yeah, you are coming in so hot. It's like you're asking to get cursed.
That's my whole... Asking to get cursed is going to be the title of my memoir, so...
Damn.
I've already taken it. I've already bought everything associated, so stop, everyone.
Yeah, don't even try.
Well, welcome to Into the Twilight.
Hello.
An in-depth discovery of astrology.
Yes.
Celebrities.
Full stop.
Celebrities who we have, celebrities we have made relevant over the past 3 years of this show.
You're welcome.
They weren't famous before. And also we talk about toxic masculinity. So.
Heyo.
All I want is someone, and I know I've been asking for this for 3 years, but all I want is someone to compile all of the things we say at the beginning of, like, what the show is about.
Right. Our fun little intro.
Make our new sizzle reel, please, and thank you.
Thank you.
Cody, how the hell are you?
I'm good, man.
Oh, I'm proud. I mean, congrats.
Thank you.
I love that.
Thank you. Chicago's still on fire.
And on strike.
Not literally. Yeah, that's the thing. Still on strike. By the time this episode comes out, probably still will be on strike. So that's cool, I guess.
I love when education is just, like, not respected in our country.
Yeah. And it's going, they're going.
Yeah. I mean, fuck. I wish they didn't have to, but I do love a good strike. Sure.
Like, hey, they're not getting paid, and these days will not be made up, so they won't see that money. So that sucks. And also the kids, not going to school.
Fuck them kids.
But that's the through line here. It's just actually fuck them kids.
In the most respectful and, like, earnest way, as someone who teaches, fuck them kids.
As someone who cares so much about the kids and their futures, fuck them kids.
When I'm off the clock, baby, fuck them kids,
Oh, yeah, so that's how it's been over here. How are y'all doing? And by y'all, I mean you specifically.
And also my altar, apparently. It's
you
okay.
and your many forms.
It's okay. You can address me as a plural being, as a Gemini. That feels
exactly.
appropriate.
Representation is important.
If nothing else, the thing you should get out of this podcast is that representation is important. Oh, God. I'm fine. I'm, like, dying inside a little bit. My stomach has been going through an experience the past couple days. And the only way that I can properly describe it is, like, I am so worn down. Like, Bella pregnant and Breaking Dawn worn down, that I feel like the only solve is just me having a cup of blood and just, like, really getting myself back together.
Good Lord.
I just want to do the, like, it tastes good moment in my life. For once, I want something to taste as good.
There's so much to unpack there that I am not qualified to even start.
I don't know if anyone else is qualified other than you, actually.
Yeah, and that's my horrible curse that I have.
Yeah.
But I think we need to get one of those little calendars that's like 0 days since the last time Allie brought up a weird problem with her body.
That it would always be at 0 days.
Always. 100%. There hasn't been an episode in months, I don't think, that we haven't brought up some weird, beautiful, fantastical problem with your organs, or your bones, or your skin.
I mean, you know what? That's fine. That's just me being my honest and true self here. And
yeah, no,
okay.
It's a vulnerable space, and it's accepting of who you are.
Who else could I talk to and be like, you know what I need right now is just a styrofoam cup full of blood in a straw, please.
You don't really get me going.
In the most, like, non-blood drinking way, as someone who cannot look at blood, I think I just need a cup of blood right now.
You would definitely drink it out of those, like, fun straws that, like, twirl around.
Oh,
or,
my
like,
God.
Say fun words or
yes.
something.
I was literally just thinking of that. Yes, that's exactly how I would consume it. Well, because I couldn't...
Synergy.
I mean, we've talked about this before, right? Like, of, like, the fridge full of blood. And I couldn't do that. So you would have to hide it from me, but also make it fun. So...
Right.
I need it, but I don't want to think about it. So...
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's... all I need to say, actually. So, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And
we're done. Goodbye.
No, we have so much news, actually.
It's fucking stacked this week, y'all.
We have a murder of news. We have a gaggle of news. What are those other... What are the other ones? A rat pack of news? I don't know.
A rat pack of news is so good. Oh my God.
Truly, when I'm tired is when the genius comes out, I think.
We're in that galaxy brain state of mind right now.
When are we not in galaxy brain? How is this show not created off of galaxy brain energy?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
Anyway, we got a fucking rat pack of news to
That's
unpack
true. Starting off with Robert Pattinson, who does not like to be called our Pats.
Yeah,
even though I
I'm
may
sorry.
have fucked up and put it in the notes that way, so sorry. Cody, you did a majority of these... this hunting and gathering
These crimes.
today.
Sleuthing.
Can you bring us into the Robert Pattinson corner?
God, it's been a fucking week for this boy.
He's so
which, I mean, is
embarrassing.
deserved because his movie is coming out this week nationwide, which is very exciting.
I can't wait to see
So
it.
people are talking about our boy.
Finally.
The press are talking about our boy. And in very delightful ways, I might add. Because this man is so cursed. This man is so off the wall.
He has a lot of dark energy.
Right, a lot of chaotic dark energy, and of course, he should be represented that way, and I think it's just that he has been done so.
Yeah.
One of which is a piece we'll get to later, which is just all of his meme moments.
I can't wait.
Which are very good, and produced, and I guess regurgitated a lot of great photos of this man that we have since forgotten about. Especially this one of him with a smoothie or with the coffee or something.
Yes.
And just making a beautiful face.
And I can't tell if he got like an accidental boba in his smoothie and that's why he's doing the like middle of spitting it out face, or if he's doing the like Italian stereotype of, or like even like they do it with Chicago too, of like, hey, like he's doing that thing with his hands.
Yeah, he's like, I'm walking here. My fucking smoothie. Yeah, it looks like he is trying to, like, manifest a Heimlich.
Yeah, it looks like he is...
But not do any of the physicalities with his arms.
True.
Just in his brain.
Just in his brain. He also looks like a parent bird, like regurgitating meal for baby birds.
Yeah, like, he will just spit into a tiny bird's mouth. There's also a great one of him holding a dog.
I didn't know he had a dog, which I feel like, what is my job here for?
Yeah, we definitely fucked up. But this dog is holding a tennis ball in his mouth, and Robert is just like, carry him from the stomach, like the chest. And I've never related to anything more than this dog in this moment.
Both the dog and Robert are both hacking in these photos.
Yeah, they are both done with it. And it's beautiful and poetic and an allegory for something.
Yeah. I feel like that dog sometimes after we record, Chris just being like, okay, can you, I'm going to take you away.
I got to get you out of here.
We need to do anything else other than this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And finally, the most tweeted thing this week, I feel like.
Bringing back a 5-year-old ad.
Dude, yeah, I was like, did y'all forget about this? And I guess we need a reminder, sure.
I never forgot.
But Robert Pattinson, back in the day, in 2014, 2015, some shit, did an ad for Dior, in which he's just, making out with a lady in an elevator.
It's fucking hot.
It's
powerful.
Sexy. It's pretty powerful.
People were thirsting
and
all over.
And white, and yeah, it's just hot the whole time. And it's just 50 Shades. That's what it is.
It is.
People fucking in the elevator.
Always these horny for elevators. Just
I'll never get it.
E.L. James and the entire Hallmark department making holiday movies.
Right.
All horny for elevators.
I've never not felt stressed in an elevator.
Agreed. Every time I take an elevator, I'm just
I could never be horny in an elevator.
No.
Mm-mm.
That's not how Maslow's works, actually. My basic needs are never met in an elevator. There's no way I could get to horny. Yeah, no way. My favorite was the person who tweeted the rats. It was like Robert Pattinson for Dior.
It was just two rats licking each other and smooching. It's so fucking funny. It's so good. If you watch anything this week on the internet, watch that video.
It's 2 seconds. It's so good.
Yeah. It's perfect. It gave me 50 years of my life back.
Truly. Oh my God. Speaking of that, though, we need to talk about our Pats because, Robert Pattinson.
Can you use his Christian name, please?
Sorry, I'm not respecting his fucking name.
Jesus.
My homeboy in the sky. So our Robert Pattinson, I'm breaking down.
Try to say it.
It's oh God, it's like in classic exorcism movies where the person can't get touched with a fucking, what are those things called? The stick? Oh, a cross.
The stick. God.
Piss my pants.
People pay for this. We do this for money.
And I don't know why.
You've all made a terrible mistake.
I'm literally in the process of teaching my kids about Catholicism right now, and I'll be like, oh yes, as you can see on the top of this cathedral, the stick.
You know. Oh my God.
Jesus. Okay. Anyways, I can't say Robert
at least
Pattinson's
this
name.
should be inspiration to everyone listening that anyone can make a podcast.
And also anyone can be a teacher, fucking apparently.
You can chase your dreams because we're doing it against all odds.
Both obstacles that the world puts against us and also obstacles we make ourselves, apparently.
More importantly, our own idiocy.
Jesus. Okay. Anyways.
Wow.
Robert Pattinson.
Yes.
Is in the process of getting yoked for Batman, and I just, I don't know how to operate, I guess.
Yeah, it's like that picture, that meme where it's like that cat that's heavy breathing. That's you.
Me, always. Oh my fuck. Okay, so speaking of stuff that is just like brought me to tears, can you talk about this fantastic Twitter user that sent us Twilight stuff?
Just like, can we take a minute to appreciate this beautiful listener? Oh, what is my phone doing? Uh-oh. That's not great. Oh, just kidding. Okay, we're here. We're doing it. I thought it was going to turn off on me. Like, no. Okay. So we got some submissions. Y'all are very good at sending us very fun things from your past.
And I appreciate
your
it
little
so much.
Fun Twilight stuff, which we like thrive off of, and please send us more of that. Because it's very important to us. But someone on Twitter sent us a used copy of Twilight on DVD, first of all.
Wow.
To get this, like, fucking film slide that if you hold up to the light, you get the film. Which I didn't know was a thing in the Twilight DVDs.
But goddamn.
That's poetic. But fuck, yeah. And they also got a book?
Yes.
Called The Twilight Director's Notebook. The story of how we made the movie, based on the novel by Stephenie Meyer.
I love it so much.
By Catherine Hardwicke.
I want it. I want it. It's so badly.
Just to give, like, an image of this cover, it's every frame from the Twilight movies on the cover. And also some early sketches or whatever.
Yes.
A mess. I hate looking at it.
Please tell me about the logs. I want to hear it from your mouth.
So, one of the pages in the book says, I thought maybe Edward could show off his skills by spelling out Bella's name in logs.
That's the only way that I want love expressed.
And there's a shitty little drawing that's just, like, sketched out little logs in Bella's name.
Just him being, like, doing the Will Smith pose towards Jada, being like, what up? I made this for you.
my wife. It's, like, I've never felt this much serotonin in my body until I saw this image. But yeah, that's very important to me. There's also a very cursed a watercolor of Edward with, like, long, beautiful hair.
Yes.
And I hate it.
I love it, though. But
yeah.
But I get that. I get that.
Right. So thank you for this gift.
It's truly powerful, and it's also important, so thank you so much. I recently learned from listening to another podcast this past week what culling means.
Uh-huh.
And then in my brain, as I was listening to this podcast, all of the pieces started to connect together. And I just wanted to scream at Stephenie Meyer for her making Edward's last name Cullen, when the fact that culling is referencing to slaughtering wild animals. And I'm just like, what the fuck? It's all deeper. It's all connected.
You in front of a fucking corkboard with string.
Honestly.
Like, it just, look, there's meaning here.
It frustrates me that she can do stuff like that, but then also write shitty literature. And so it's just like, I don't...
Yeah.
It's forever confusing to me. Okay, so the noise you just heard was me inviting Chris in because we have some current events that I know nothing about, but I need support with. So, Chris, hi.
Hi.
I'm going to pretend
Welcome to the space.
Welcome to the pod. So the first thing that I wanted to ask you about is, can you tell me your opinions as a dude on Batman?
So Batman's pretty cool. Doesn't have parents, punches the Riddler, generally just ace guy, you know? Sometimes fights the Joker. Like, I consider Batman like a pretty wicked dude.
Great. Well, Thank you for that. Good to have an opinion that we never get represented on this show.
It's about time.
More earnestly,
honestly.
Batman is a franchise that I think is good, but has also been done so many times at this point that it's become weirdly canonized in a weird way. Like, I find it very funny and potentially harmful that it's like, oh yes, the most buzzed about Oscar role of the season is Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Like,
Cody, can you bleep that out?
I know
actually?
that I'm speaking some cursed names in these hallowed halls.
all I want our audience to hear is bleep playing bleep and the bleep. Okay, so when you found out about Paul Dano, you freaked out, and I don't know who the fuck Paul Dano is.
So, some minor backstory here.
Please
so,
don't.
Paul Dano is a character actor of sorts who has risen up throughout the past half decade or so into films.
Yeah, we have something in common.
I would describe him as Michael Cera, but he can act and he looks like he has a heroin addiction.
Damn.
But he just has this very perfect air of, like, sniveling nerd who has that right amount of confidence that really does fit in with the casting of the Riddler. And quite literally 3 years ago, I called this of, like, I don't even remember what I saw Paul Dano in, but I was like, that motherfucker's going to play the Riddler at some point. And so, upon seeing that tweet, I was like, the prophecy has come true. I'm the smartest man in Hollywood.
All right. Okay.
Bow down to your new king.
Wow. I'm so glad that
honestly such an honor to have Mr. Hollywood on the podcast.
It's just very vindicating.
Cody just fucking Mr. Hollywood. Okay, last thing. Cody, as I mentioned before when we started recording, we tried to watch Wounds this weekend. Because I was like, it's Dakota Johnson. Perfect. My family. But Chris, did you say I tapped out about 30 minutes in?
You tapped out at pretty much exactly 30 minutes in, and that truly was the right choice. Wounds, a movie that has been, I think, in production for about a year, published by Annapurna, and just this week was kind of dumped onto Hulu very unceremoniously, so it's tasty, tasty quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of bugs in it, which I did not know and hated.
It's a bug-heavy movie, as it turns out. It's a movie about Armie Hammer, who plays the world's worst bartender and human being. And he runs a bar, comes across a cell phone that some rapscallions left behind in his bar, that somehow gets him embroiled into a Swedish murder cult ritual.
Yes, you do.
Listen, I watched this entire movie. I don't think I can recite every plot point.
Oh, I wish you don't.
I don't think anyone can. I don't think the director could really tell you exactly what is happening.
That was pretty clear from what I was watching.
But I will say, it does feature a scene of Dakota Johnson peeing herself.
Okay.
Because she is hypnotized by a weird spiral image she finds on the internet.
Honestly, I can relate.
We've all been there.
That happens to the best of us, so... Okay.
But yeah, Armie Hammer starts seeing cockroaches everywhere, peels open a man's face, and then sucks out hell demons through the guy's face wounds.
Jesus Christ, Christopher.
So,
Sure.
Can you just bleep all of that? I think that might get us demonetized.
I'm giving you the news you need to know.
Wow. Okay, well, thank you for bringing a perspective to the show that we intentionally try not to honor.
It's the duty. It's what I'm here to do. I'm here to come on and talk about Joker and just make you uncomfortable.
Yeah. Great.
Yes, it's been an honor.
Thank you. If you could please leave one of our cats in here while I record, that would be great.
Okay.
Okay.
He
Thank you.
doesn't want me to leave, though.
Oh.
wants me to stay on the pod.
Cody has to hear enough of me talking to our cats. Okay, bye. Okay. So, as I said before, it's an awful movie.
Yeah.
So, don't
Can't wait
trust
to watch
anything he says. Okay. Last things are K2 Corner. Hood.
Pew, pew, pew.
Where is your toy?
Fuck. Can I just make mouth sounds sometimes if I'm feeling it? Fuck.
I mean, not now that you've introduced me.
I know I did spend $30 to make this my brand, so I might as well just fucking do it.
Jesus.
Is that good? Is that good? You asked for it.
That's true. I mean, I did ask for it, but Jesus.
Yeah.
We have a couple of K-Stew news pieces. Could you share them with us, please?
Boy, could I. So, K-Stew is gay.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Yep.
But there's a piece from Nicki Swift.
Wow.
Yes. Which is basically why K-Stew didn't like kissing Taylor Lautner in Twilight.
Yes. It's basically just K-Stew being like, I hated this. That's all I have to say.
Right. Like, please stop asking me about Twilight.
Please stop. And yeah, that's
Please
all
stop.
we want to do.
Yeah.
And then this last bit with the flowers.
And most importantly, K-Stew bought herself some sunflowers.
And it's so pretty.
And was just walking around town in her cute-ass e-boy chains.
Oh my god.
And baggy pants with a fucking bouquet of sunflowers.
I love it.
The curse thing, though, is that they do reference her as the Snow White and the Huntsman actress, which is not incorrect.
But just don't bring it up, though.
Yeah, we've all tried to forget.
I'm doing my absolute best trying to forget that.
God. Wow, yeah, remember when Hollywood tried to put Chris Hemsworth and K-Stew as, like, some sort of romantic duo?
Little did they know.
It's kind of hot.
Listen, no one is arguing about whether that movie is hot or not. It's just that it's not a good movie.
No, listen, that movie is horny first.
Yes.
And nothing else.
And that's it.
Full stop.
Oh, man. I don't miss that movie at all. But I do like the idea of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've bullshitted long enough.
Yeah.
We've tried to make this not be a show where we talk about you, the book, but
yeah,
we need
gotta.
to. We gotta.
We have to.
One could almost say that we are being paid to.
Yeah, one could say that.
Yes. And the one would be us. So we have chapters 47 and 48.
Woo, mama!
And last time when we left off, Joe was like holding Beck up in a cab, being like, oh yeah, don't take us to the hospital. Just take us actually to my work.
Yeah.
So if you could describe these chapters in an emotion, what would it be? I mean, that also suffices.
Thank you. That's my
just
answer.
a really heavy, disappointed breath.
Yeah, it's rough. Rough.
Usually I do the emotion of like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. But I am mad and I'm also disappointed.
Right. They don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Right.
I could feel both.
Yes.
And here I am.
As the very well quoted on this show, John Green once said, I contain multitudes, actually.
Oh my god.
Also, if anyone wants us to do a bonus Jonas on the Looking for Alaska show, it's all that I've ever cared about. So, okay. So, chapter 47 is awful.
Yeah, comes in a little too hot, I'll say.
You don't like the first sentence of your chapter to be, you won't be happy when you wake up alone in the cage?
Ugh, God.
Again, not
like,
Anne Cage.
Yeah.
The cage.
The cage. You know, everyone's got a cage.
I mean,
cage.
The cage on the inside.
The cage where you put your girlfriends when they think you're gonna murder them because you're definitely gonna murder them. You know that one.
Yeah,
in the basement of your bookstore where all the fancy books are. You know that one.
Maybe he was just about to, I don't know, convince her that WWE was about to start.
Maybe
it was that kind of cage.
Right. Or he's just playing the Pitch Perfect DVD on loop for 40 years while his imprisoned girlfriend is in the cage in the basement of the bookstore.
Yes, I agree.
The way he sets this up, too, is chaotic and also disgusting. He's like, I got you a plastic bottle of root beer and some water and some pretzels and some crayons for you to draw when you're in your cage, imprisoned.
Yeah, but Beck, how dare you say that I'm not feeding you or providing you entertainment?
Yes.
Even though I leave the Pitch Perfect menu song on for 5 straight hours.
Yeah, at least play the goddamn movie. You can't put the fucking startup menu. That's worse than hell. That is. Man.
I made the mistake of not Googling what that was before. Do you think if I just Googled Pitch Perfect, I could figure out what the intro song was?
Maybe.
I'll just try and figure that out while we're working here.
Great.
I just want to know how bad it is. Joe talks so much about Pitch Perfect in this one. Lots of comparisons.
Right.
To the point where, just like we think the author dislikes therapy, one would have to assume that this author has a very strong personal connection with Pitch Perfect, yes?
Right. Sure. Do you think the author was pissed that that reference was deemed totally irrelevant and was not in the series at all?
Probably.
Like, she's probably just like, fuck, that was so important. I spent so many thousands of words writing about the significance of Pitch Perfect in this novel.
I watched Pitch Perfect for days to get this stuff accurate.
Just to get those motifs right.
You all can't even bother with the licensing?
You plebeians. Fuck.
You fools.
Respect art, goddammit. Jesus.
So, Beck's in the cage. Joe's like, oh, lol, Ethan, don't come in. We had pipes burst. Oh, no.
There's definitely not a woman locked in here.
Yeah. Nothing strange at all. Also, never come out to the basement. Thank you.
Yeah. I know we have, like, backstock or whatever, but don't you dare fucking go downstairs.
For real. And then he decides to go to Beck's place. And I have a question for you.
Yeah.
As one book expert to another. Could you help me unpack the part where Joe takes out the trash and he says that Beck's trash reeks of bananas and womanhood? Sorry, what does that mean, Cody? Can you help me?
I wish. Listen, you're the one with a fucking English degree, alright? So, don't you fucking come for me.
I didn't know that the scent of my trash expressed my gender.
Right, you know that.
You know, my apartment smells a lot like masculine trash some days, so.
It's true, yeah. There's always just like a whiff of your essence. Which, oddly enough, womanhood does smell like bananas a little bit if you actually think about it. They're pretty intrinsically linked, which is why you maybe got confused.
Is the TED Talk not about all the things that we want to delve into, the deep intricacies of Twilight, but in Stacked that our gender identity is rather just expressed by the smell of fruits. Not the look of them, but just the smell.
Because Bella, strawberries.
Holy shit.
Beck, bananas.
Okay, so what is Anna?
Fuck. Oh my god. I feel like there was a food that she definitely ate a lot of.
I agree. The only one I can think of is raspberries, but I don't know that that's right.
Raspberries could be right. Or that weird ice cream sex situation.
Yes.
Or yogurt. Didn't she love yogurt? I don't know. The tea! The tea!
Oh, shit. Okay. Yes. The whisper of tea.
The amuse-bouche of tea.
Yes. Wow. Okay.
We're getting somewhere. Rule 3 is comedy, baby. We got it.
Hey, this is so funny. This is all great content.
Guys, aren't you enjoying this? Aren't you having a really good time listening to this podcast?
Just a real quick check-in about 2/3 the way through the show. How's it going? How do you think?
Hey, you guys You laughing? You having a good time? You enjoying yourself?
You stretched recently? Maybe that might help how funny this is. Take that.
Maybe take a sip of water just to really think about how funny this is.
Just take that kink out of your neck, actually.
Yep.
Okay. So, Joe's doing a lot of bad things here.
Invading personal boundaries.
Yep. Was not invited to
your
this
girlfriend
home.
in a cage. No. And also making it her fault that he's doing this, and not that he's a bad person.
Right?
It's like, well, of course. Like, you went into my wall and took your things that were now my things.
Yep.
So I have to go to your home and look through your things.
Yeah.
And I already have been looking through and taking.
Yeah.
But now I'm getting more of them.
He's like pulling books out of couch cushions and calling Beck his little piggy, which is a weird reference for all of a sudden. He's just being a little snoop, being a little scamp.
Yeah. Little rascal.
Truly.
Little rascal boy.
He talks a lot about this flashback where Beck made him a sweet potato shaped like a heart.
Okay.
And was like, this isn't a sweet potato any longer. This is in fact my heart, so eat it carefully. And he was like, let's just get Chinese instead.
Yeah, because here's the fucking thing. Beck cooked one sweet potato for the two of them, which sure, you're on a budget, I get it. But every time I've ever made a sweet potato by myself, I'm like, man, I could fuck up another sweet potato easily. For sure. Easily.
Beck. Oh, Beck.
Rookie mistake.
Truly.
Rookie mistake.
Also, rookie mistake is just leaving your fucking new MacBook Air on the floor.
Yeah.
As if your stalker serial killer boyfriend isn't going to find that new computer that he almost just bought for you. So, that's great.
Good job.
So, he's looking through this MacBook Air, which he makes very clear is not just a MacBook, but a MacBook Air.
Mm-hmm. It's thinner.
It is.
You could throw it up in the air like a paper crane.
And he's drinking the vodka in her freezer. He also sees gin, which is apparently an immediate cue for him.
Yeah.
Something is wrong.
It's like, what the fuck is happening here?
And then
you're not a classy woman who drinks gin.
Nope. Just vodka, right out the bottle.
Hell yeah.
One might even say vodka down the hatch. And then spit it up like Chaboy. That I always get that vine mixed up with the other one of like that boy stealing a beer at their like TGI Fridays lunch, and the mom is like Jared Michael or whatever the fuck his name was. All right.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Some good vines.
Joe fucking opens up this laptop, sees the picture that basically confirms what he's been afraid of this whole time, that Dr. Nikki and Beck are together. He writhes about the fact that they took a selfie because that's just not like Beck. That's too now. That's too current for her. And then we get into this awful email thread from her new Gmail account of Beckalicious 1027. It's so bad.
Yeah.
There's like 500 emails that of course Joe is going to read like all of them. Ugh. And he was like, wait a second. So I was paranoid, but I was right. And when I did see Amy Adam, it was like I knew you were with someone else. Because now he's like seeing all these, and apparently Nikki has the hat that he wanted that I didn't even remember that they talked about before.
It's like, of course, the titular hat. You remember.
Yes. And in a way to end this chapter that definitely won't signal that Joe is going to kill Beck, he emails Lynn and Hannah being like, oh, hey, just gonna write at a retreat for a couple days. And then he emails Blythe and is like, oh my god, I got this published in you-know-where. Gonna be away for a couple of days.
Ooh.
Also, I love the fact that Beck signs off all of her emails with XO Beck.
Well, XOB.
XOB.
Which is worse.
And the chapter ends with him also going onto her Twitter account and being like, gonna dip out for a couple of days, bye. So, alibi covered, at least to his knowledge. The chapter ending this way really creeped me out, because it's like, I know that Joe can do bullshit, but the fact that it took him like 2 minutes and now all of her alibis are squared away and no one's gonna come looking for her is terrifying.
Right. Yeah, and he does it with such ease and smugness.
And no remorse.
Right.
Like, literally nothing. And so then we get into chapter 48. One of, I'd say, the worst chapters that I've read so far.
Whoo, mama.
Because Joe decides that the only appropriate thing to do with Beck still in the cage is to give her a test on her feelings about Dr. Nikki. But doing it in the most, like, attempting to be intelligent way possible.
It's him living out his fucking god complex fantasies of being this, like, divine figure or whatever that knows all the answers to all the questions, and it's just, like, squeezing it out of Beck for his own satisfaction.
Right.
It's like, I know all the answers because I know your emails and I know the truth, and you fucked Dr. Nikki and we're gonna talk about it. But it's just, like, so snooty and so smarmy and just, like, up his own ass because he feels so self-righteous about it because he thinks he's in the right, even though he's imprisoning his girlfriend in a cage and making her do fun little dances and quizzes for his amusement.
Yeah, a woman he says he loves.
Right. This is love. This is love.
And is attempting so hard to be intelligent that he is asking true false questions, but then gives her note cards that don't say true or false.
Yeah, that's true.
They say yes and no.
Yeah, and he always is like, correct her. Like, it's all, none of this lines up ever.
No.
Fucking be better at being a psychopath, please. God.
If you want to have this accurate test that you seem so interested in preserving, then at least provide the stuff that she needs to help you out.
Right. You're really not giving her the answers here. You're not giving her the resources.
No, absolutely not. So
what if I would have loved a scene where she's just like, all right, true or false, and she just looks at her cards and are like, is this a joke? Is this a prank?
It is unfortunately not a prank.
No, it's bad.
Because he's like, and he seems so confident throughout all of this test administration that, like, she's gonna say what he wants to hear, and that'll, of course, also be the truth.
Yeah.
And not her attempt to get out of this cage and run away.
Yeah.
So.
And this whole time, she's like, all right, listen, I get what you're doing here. And is being far more rational than she has any right to be.
Absolutely.
Like, it's honestly quite amazing. And she's just like, listen, Joe, I get it. Like, I fucked up, and I cheated on you, and I'm sorry, and that was bad, and I'll never do it again, whatever. And this whole time, she's just trying to be like, listen, it's fun. Can we just, like, not keep me in a cage? And can we not, like, do a fun little song and dance? Because I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Well, and he keeps, like, admonishing her for what he says is overreacting in the cage.
Right.
As if most people would not scream and have what he says is, like, a tantrum.
Right. Yeah, literally a tantrum.
Whereas, in my mind, Beck just, like, sighed once, and he's like, oh my god, you're making this a whole thing.
God, this would be so easy if you just behaved.
Yeah, all she did once was, like, sigh and cross her legs, and he's like, okay, you don't need to, like, try and break the glass, Beck. God. So, all these questions, just basically him in attempting, right, to play God, to share all this information that she knows she did, and now he knows she did. The thing that I wanted to talk about, though, is they didn't go into this in the TV show, I don't think, of Nicky saying all this detail about confessing to his wife, and then Beck being like, lol, no. I don't remember that happening. Do you?
No. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But apparently in this, Nicky had, like, talked to his wife about Beck, and was like, okay, let's do this thing. You're gonna become the stepmom to my kids. And she's like, I don't... Fuck them kids.
Maybe.
I don't remember it, but I believe that.
I don't know if it was that far, but I think there was, like, some sort of fantasy of them, like, getting away together or doing something. I'm not sure if it was as intense as, like, I'm gonna be, like, mother your kid or whatever. But I think any form of, like, commitment aspect of, like, her relationship with Dr. Nicky was, like, a red flag in the series also.
Sure.
To some extent.
That makes sense to me. And finally, she's like, all right, Joe, listen, I'll say what you want to hear, okay? I'm a shitty person. I'm going to try not to blame it on my dad, but also it's my dad's fault. And, and that's why I wanted to fuck my therapist, okay?
Fuck, are you happy?
And he's never happy.
No.
Especially, he gets this, unsurprisingly, like, a very sick satisfaction of reading all these emails to her and her being, like, upset about it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of parts where she finally is just like, no, you don't understand. I like new things, which means I like to fuck around, Joseph. Yeah. 'Cause apparently, I remember he like, read aloud, the part where she was like, he has nothing going for him anymore, or something like that. And right. Joe was just, like, sobbing inside.
Like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? I don't have anything going for me. I have you. I don't understand.
Fuck.
So, by this point, he's been interrogating for a while. Beck is obviously upset and exhausted and hungry from only eating pretzels. And then Joe does, in a very Joe fashion, the weirdest thing possible in this moment, which is going upstairs, getting 2 copies of the Da Vinci Code, and bringing them down there for them both to read. Because he wants
romance.
Yeah, the only way that you repair from being cheated on is if you both share the experience of reading the Da Vinci Code.
Listen, the amount of marriages that Dan Brown has saved, probably more than 0.
Probably not 0.
Probably not 0.
I'm not a mathematician, but probably not 0.
It's a negative number. It's broken marriages. Oh, for sure, Dan Brown has broken marriages.
Yes. Oh my god, I forgot to talk about the mouse in the house thing.
Oh, fuck.
That apparently Beck is the one that came up with that absurd idea, and Nicky was the one to continue using it. Ugh. Of course, Beck. Of course that is your writing. I'm not sick and I'm not stressed. I just have a mouse in my house. God. But the chapter ends with Beck still in the fucking cage, and Joseph just counting down until there's a full moon to sacrifice her, I guess. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, and he's just like, oh, we've made so much progress here. Because really, when you think about it, you're just like me. Because you actually feel love in this cage. You don't feel scared or trapped. Because I've totally been ignoring all of your signs and all of your body language and your and your actual words and your feelings and emotions.
Yep.
So, like, this is super chill. We'll just, like, live our life like this, I guess.
This is our home now, actually.
Right, listen, and everything ship is a little bit non-traditional, alright? It's a little non-normative, okay?
Oh my god.
But like, it's our thing, you know? It works for us.
Right. Yeah. When your wife is giving you trouble and you just lock her up in your glass cage, am I right, fellas?
Am I right, fellas? Dudes? Fuck. You know how it is. Shit.
I just want someone to take this scene and turn it into one of those, like, Reddit relationship posts. And it's like, am I in the wrong for locking up my girlfriend?
You know, it's like, sometimes you feel like a fucking zookeeper, man. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
And your fucking wife is just being rowdy as fuck, dude.
She sighed one too many times for me.
Disrespectful, man.
And all I need to do is go touch books. That's all I ask for in this life, is just to touch some books. And she wants to watch the same movie over and over again, according to me.
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, next week we have chapters 49 and 50.
Hell yeah.
Except...
Just kidding, we don't.
We're going to pause on that for a second. And why is that?
We're going to talk about the lighthouse.
I'm so excited.
Because we all will have seen it by then.
Yep.
And also we're going to have a special guest to talk about it. A special guest! And it's going to be fun. So enjoy this little fun sea shanty interlude of this nightmare hell that we're in.
Yes, I'm
also
excited.
Go see the lighthouse so we can all talk about it together. Because it will be out across the country.
Yeah,
and maybe in other places, but who knows?
Potentially Oscar-nominated film.
Right. Who knows?
We don't know yet, but I believe it based on what everyone is saying about it. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. Okay, now finally to get to Robert Pattinson's viral moments for our patrons.
Yes.
I'm excited for this. So thank you, GQ, for giving us what we asked for.
Thank you.
Even if I didn't say it out loud.
Yeah.
Would you like
Thank
to
you
start
for manifesting
us off?
it? Yes, I would. Shout out Rachel Gray.
Ooh.
Ooh. Who's gonna be number 8, Robert Pattinson falling asleep at his own film festival tribute.
Okay, listen. I get it.
It's a mood. It's a big mood.
There are so many. Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Janae Jasper.
Ow!
Who's gonna be number 5, Robert Pattinson bores his own stalker.
Nice.
Just talking about, I think this, yeah, so this is the one where he was like, I was so bored and lonely that I just went out with and had dinner with her. And I complained about everything and she never came
and how
back.
my life sucks. And she found out. Shout out Kelly Beck.
Ooh.
Who's gonna be number 4.
Oh my God.
Robert Pattinson thinks being spit on is pretty great.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I mean, it had to have been FKA Twigs, right? Like,
it had to have been, right?
Had to.
Yep, I agree. Okay, shout out to Sophia Salinger.
Ow!
Who's gonna be number 9. Robert Pattinson hates healthy shakes.
Yes. So important.
I know that we only talked about the first photo in this Twitter photo set, but the last one really does something for me.
It's a real scowl. And it's powerful.
Just a comic frown. Just a complete parentheses of a frown.
Right. Yeah, it's an actual emoticon. It's perfect. Shout out to Aaron Salinger.
Woo, 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 woo.
Who's gonna be number 12, Robert Pattinson on Reddit.
Oh my god.
Being chaotic.
Always.
Some highlights. What's your life like outside of acting? Sucks. Do you ever think about joining social media? Only in dark moments. Who the fuck is this man?
I don't know.
Why is he like this?
Because he's an earth sign? I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. Shout out to...
You get to do it, man. You get to do the claps.
I know. It's been so long. Okay. Shout out to Taylor Brown Talent Lautner.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it so. Okay. Who's gonna be number 13? Robert Pattinson desperately needs a New York City hot dog.
Yes. It's such a good video.
It is. It's powerful.
I think about it often. Shout out to Katie Weber, who's gonna be number 6. Robert Pattinson has a lot of headlines written about him.
Truly.
I'll just pick my favorite right here. Which is send boring people to prison, says Robert Pattinson.
Great.
Ooh,
okay.
Also, Robert Pattinson's advice to young stars. Get therapy, become a serial killer, or kill yourself.
Oh my god. And just an honorable mention for number 2 of Robert Pattinson taking down Matt Lauer.
Oh, yeah.
Because somebody needed to.
Yeah.
So, that's fair. Okay. I have a fan fiction for you today.
Yes, please.
Written by the author Paige and Tiger. And it's a spoopy one for you. It's titled Nessie's First Halloween. And I do want you to know that this author, Paige and Tiger's icon on fanfiction.net is of a horse mid-run, if that needs to tell you anything about this author.
Yes.
This was written on October 16th, 2015. The description goes a little like this. It's Renesmee's first Halloween, so of course she's going to get the full experience. Join the Cullens as they host a Halloween party, play dead man, go pumpkin chucking, and of course, trick or treat. Could you, what the fuck is pumpkin chucking? Real quick, though.
I hate it, whatever it is.
I don't understand it, and I'm confused by the look, and I'm also scared by the look a little. This is from chapter 1. I will say that I'm reading this, and I should get some sort of brownie points because there's so much dialogue in this, but the whole fanfiction looks like one really, really long paragraph.
Great.
So
I love that.
All right. With resigned sighs, they all got up and went out to the cars. 15 minutes later, everyone was in Halloween Supplies R Us. Renesmee tugged on Alice's sleeve. Auntie Alice, I want to show Mama and Daddy and Jakey their costumes. Alice nodded. Go ahead, Nessie, she said. I'll take care of the rest of you. She beamed at Emmett, Rosalie, Carlisle, Esme, and Jasper, all of whom were nervously fidgeting. Renesmee smiled. Jakey, you're first, she said, dragging the werewolf to the back of the store. She then presented Jacob with a Dracula costume, plastic fangs and all. Jacob grinned, flashing a sly look at Edward and Bella. I love it, Nessie, he said. Renesmee squealed with delight. Now you, Daddy. Edward was soon holding up a werewolf suit with a snarling furry mask. Very nice, Ness, he said, lifting the little girl up and spinning her through the air. Nessie giggled as he set her back down on her feet. Your turn, Mama. Renesmee grabbed her mother's hand and led her to an aisle at the front of the store. Bella laughed when Nessie handed her a black cat costume, including a long black tail. It's perfect, Renesmee, Bella said, hugging her daughter. When they met up with the rest of the family, only Alice was smiling. Everyone else was scowling, glaring at the pixie-like vampire with contempt. And scene.
Whew, Mama.
That's what I call literature, folks.
That's it.
Well, It's something.
Yes.
What are you going to be for Halloween? Have we talked about this?
I don't know.
Cody!
I'm sorry.
You had one job. And it was to figure out what your alignment was from last week.
Whoops.
And your Halloween costume.
Shit. Well, maybe next week I'll have answers for you.
All right.
Probably not. Wouldn't count on it.
Oh my god. Well, one thing I can count on is that when you're in Forks, you should.
Ooh. Get bit.
And get whipped.
Ow!
This is an Earbud Media production. You can find us on Twitter at Earbud Media and listen to the rest of our shows. You can find this show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, as well as intothetwilight.show. You can send us an email at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can also become a sponsor of the show or buy some merch at intothetwilight.bigcartel.com. Our art is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, and our music is done by Eli Krause, you can find at Eli Sauerkraus and KrauseFilms.com. The intro and outro is by KB Smith, who you can find at KB__Smith on Twitter. You can find Allie on Twitter at Into Wild Places, and you can find me at Dyke Discourse.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.